Good afternoon, everyone. So, last night I posted the video of Trump's government shutdown speech from um, 2019, a few days ago. And I wanted to go ahead and interpret that speech. If you haven't seen the speech, it's called Trump's government shutdown speech 2019 or State of the Union or whatever. Y'all can go watch it before or after. It kind of really doesn't matter. But I did post it on my community section of Facebook so that if you scroll through your subscriptions, you would see it. So let's go ahead and break it down. I have the script that um, word for word on my screen right here. So I'm going to go by this script and tell you guys what it means. Thank you, Lydia McKendon. Um, you woke me up. Thank you. Thank you for waking up or wanting to wake up. So let's go through these. I'm not going to be reading the comments while I'm doing this. So I'll take some questions later. You can comment with each other, but I'll take some questions later. Okay, so Trump starts off by saying, "Thank you very much, my fellow Americans. I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government." Okay, then people start clapping. So to me, the key words in here is um, deal and very proud. Okay, my fellow Americans. Okay, so fellow Americans means Americans like him. Okay, because there's different types of Americans. Let's just get that straight up. I'm very proud to announce that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government. Okay. As everyone knows, I have a very powerful alternative, but I didn't want to use it at this time, which means there's more to it than you understand and know. And very powerful means something that no one else has access to except him. Um, and he didn't want to use it at this time because it wouldn't really be fair to use something very powerful that people aren't even aware of. You know what I'm saying? So, what's very powerful is the ability to shift or the ability to increase, or decrease the wall that he's really trying to um, secure, the wall in the sky, the barrier between us and the energies from the sun, the direct energies. Okay. And y'all have to go back into history. Now I'm going to pause right here to tell you what Mexico really, really represents, because that's where he's trying to create the border. The symbol for Mexico before it was colonized was the sun. Okay, the sun. The symbol for Mexico was the sun. Okay, in all of their artwork, the Incans, the Mayans, um, the sun was the sole giant thing in all the artwork. Okay, so Mexico represents the sun. Okay. So there's needing a see-through border because he was talking about how the border was see-through. Okay, I'm gonna go get to that part. Let me keep reading the speech. Okay. I want to thank all of the incredible federal workers and their amazing families who have shown such extraordinary devotion in the face of this recent hardship. You are fantastic people. You are incredible patriots. He uses the words patriots, and that is very symbolic because that is exactly who's playing in the Super Bowl. Now, a patriot is someone who stands up for their country, fights for their country, and is, patriotic. Okay. Many of you have suffered far greater than anyone, but your families would know or understand. So, what he's saying is, we have to read between these lines. Patriots and government workers have suffered, not just during the shutdown, but period, have suffered. So, read between the lines. He's saying patriots and people that work for the government have actually suffered far greater than anyone. Okay, because you're under control. Okay, and then it says, and not only did you not complain because you're sheep, not only did you not complain, because I know a lot of people that were complaining, but in many cases, you encouraged me to keep going because you care so much. Okay, so he's telling you you have the control. He's telling you straight up, you have the control. But since you don't say nothing and you don't complain and you still a sheep, then hey, I'm going to give you exactly what you're waiting for or wanting. Okay. Um, blah, 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 blah. Now, listen to this. Since you didn't complain, but in many cases, you encourage me to keep going because you care so much about our country. He didn't say the country, he said our country because we're different people. Okay. Listen very carefully. And about its border security. They didn't care about that border security. They would care about that paycheck. They're a sheep to the paycheck and the benefits. Okay. Again, I thank you, all Americans. See, now he's saying the word all. All Americans, I thank you. You are very, very special people. Okay. So, now he's including everyone. I am so proud that you are citizens of our country. Now, who's our and all? See how he keeps switching it up? Words are very key. When I say make America great again, it could never be done without you great people. Now everybody knows when somebody say you people, they're separating them from you. Okay? So again, he's speaking unity yet separation, all in the same paragraph, but in a way that most people aren't going to understand. Okay, so let's keep going. So basically, what he said there is, even though y'all sheep didn't get the message, and y'all are still hanging on for these government jobs, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna give you a little pay, but just remember, it could happen again. But y'all didn't complain, y'all hanging on. So obviously, y'all don't have a mind of your own. So I'm very proud of you, sheep. Y'all are very special people. So we can continue to use your energies as we choose because y'all won't wake up. Okay, now here's the next paragraph. In a short while, I will sign a bill. In a short while, I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks until February 15th. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly so y'all can go spend it in the economy, as y'all know, or as soon as possible. Or as soon as possible. You see where he's lying? I'm going to reread that so y'all can understand. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly or as soon as possible. Very quickly or as soon as possible. It will happen fast. Again, he's mixing the truth with lies. I call that a truth sandwich. He put he put the lie, the truth, and the lie. Made a truth sandwich. Y'all know about the truth sandwich if y'all on my other channel. So he made a truth sandwich so that you could eat it. Okay. Um, let's finish it. I am asking Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to put his to put his proposal on the floor immediately. After 36 days of spirited. Ooh, I like that word. Spirited. Now, what kind of president uses the word spirited? After 36 days, 3 plus 6 is 9. Okay, we got the 9 spirit. After 36 days of spirited debate and dialogue, debate and dialogue, I have seen and heard from from enough Democrats and Republicans that they are willing to put partisanship aside. Not they will, but they are willing. I think, not I know, but I think, you see, I think, comma. You see it takes a person who knows how to do this to interpret this. Okay? This is very suggestive. This is very truth mixed with lies. This is very interesting. I think. That means he doesn't know. And put the security of the American people first. I do believe, okay, believe. We talked about believing versus knowing last, what was it, the night before? So he believes, he doesn't know, but he believes they're going to do that. Again, we don't know. They have said they are for complete border security, and they have finally and fully acknowledged that having barriers, fencing, or walls, or whatever you want to call it, will be an important part of the solution. Okay, so he's giving you an option to label these walls. He says, acknowledge having barriers, fencing, or walls, or whatever you want to call it. So, how many other words are there for wall, fence, barrier, protection? You know, how many other words are there besides that? Okay. Well, he's throwing that out there. So if you're just tuning in, when he's talking about the wall, it's representative of the wall that protects us in the sky, the barrier in the sky that protects you from the UVB rays, and also the magnetic field around the earth and the ozone. Okay, that's that wall. Let's keep going. It will be an important part of the solution. A bipartisan conference committee of House and Senate lawmakers and leaders will immediately begin reviewing the requests of our Homeland Security experts. And experts they are. Okay. So when he reiterates our Homeland Security experts and experts they are, that is a mirrored sentence to get you to look back at what Homeland Security really represents. Okay. So the Homeland Security, our Homeland Security, is not used in a sense as government, it's used in a sense as something else. Okay. Scientists, the way he says it represents science. Okay. Um, just think. I'm gonna read it again so you can hear it. We'll begin reviewing the requests of our Homeland Security experts. Okay, shouldn't the government already know what's going on with Homeland Security? Why do they have to review stuff? Unless these are scientists or people that are in charge of the barrier in the sky. Okay. This should be mandatory information for anybody who works closely with the government, including people that make laws. Okay. So again, he's telling you these are scientists. He doesn't say homeland security, he says our homeland security. There's a difference. Okay. Now he says, da, 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 da. Okay, and experts they are. And also law enforcement professionals who have worked with us so closely. We want to thank Border Patrol, ICE, and law enforcement have been incredible. Okay, let's break down this. Security experts, okay, law enforcement professionals who have worked with us so closely. We want to thank Border Patrol, ICE, and law enforcement has been incredible. Okay, so I can break all this down right here. So the law enforcement professionals who have worked with us so closely. Okay, doesn't the law and law enforcement go hand in hand already? Don't they aren't they already the same thing? You know, so when they say law enforcement professionals, what they're really saying is the universal law enforcers, okay? The universal law enforcers who have worked with us, like aliens, who have worked with us, because isn't he their boss? Wouldn't Donald Trump be the boss of military and law enforcement? He's speaking as if he's not the boss. You see? He's speaking as if they are equals or one is in charge of him. So you got to understand, you got to read this like I would read it. So I said, with us so closely, not for us, not done their job properly, not congratulating them and patting them on the back like some good old boys, but thanking them as equals or higher up beings. Okay, because law enforcement will be under under the president, under the military, you know. So think about it. We want to thank Border Patrol. Okay, so I would say, in a spiritual sense or in a different sense, Border Patrol would be making sure that things such as certain energies were not allowed in or out of this border due to for your safety. You know, y'all seen Bird Box, okay? Um, the entities or the energies or the UVB rays are not being increased, or the magnetic field around the earth is not dissipating as fast and letting other things in as it could be. Because y'all remember that report that was saying that the electromagnetic field around the earth is shifting north pole faster than thought. Okay, I know y'all seen that float around. Thank you, Sevenly Heavenly. Thank you so much for the donation. Okay, so let's get back to the thing. Okay, so ICE and all law enforcement. So again, he says ICE and all law enforcement. So he's saying two different law enforcements in one sentence. So look up here. He's saying he will law and also law enforcement professionals who have worked with us so closely. We want to thank Border Patrol, ICE, and all law enforcement. Been incredible. Okay, so he's also separating that there's two types of law enforcement here. Okay. ICE to me, now I know it represents something else, but if you listen to any type of songs, and they talk about ice, it represents the plasma. the rings around Saturn that are dissipating, the dust, the ice, the plasma, the energies that's the old souls that are coming back, okay, to clean up this planet. Diamonds, carbon that has been crystalline, the descendants who have already ascended and are coming back. Okay, y'all have to think. First state of matter. Okay, in case of emergency, what? Um, who wrote it? Okay, I don't know, but let's keep going. Um, Many disagree, but I really feel that working with Democrats and Republicans, we can make a truly great and secure deal happen for everyone. Walls should not be controversial. Okay, so Democrats and Republicans. Okay, the color for Democrats is blue. The color for Republicans is red. Those are the same colors as alchemy. The same colors as right and left brain. Um, you know, and together they make purple. So purple rain, like reign like a king, reign like a government. The skies are purple. Go look at the sunset and sunrise. The skies are purple. So as above, so below, as within, so without. The government, everything has to line up. Okay. Um, Wall should not be controversial. That means this wall is for your protection. And it's also, why is there controversy around this wall? He's telling you, y'all don't know what this wall really is. That's why it's so controversial to you, because y'all don't know what this wall is. Y'all don't understand this wall. So, in order to keep certain things from entering into our atmosphere in America, he's trying to get funds, and I'll go deeper into this another time, to secure the wall in the sky. And those funds are going to go towards where they should have been going all along, helping people that control or have the true law enforcements of the planet. Okay. Based on operational guidance from the experts in the field, they will put together a homeland security package for me to shortly sign into law. Okay, so remember when we talked about homeland security up here, he's saying that, okay, you got to go back and forth, because remember, he's trying to tell you something in code. Um, so when he says our homeland security, and then he just says a homeland security package, to me, this represents two different homeland securities. Okay. This is the mundane one. Okay. Over the next 21 days, I expect that both Democrats and Republicans will operate in good faith. This is an opportunity for all parties to work together for the benefit of our whole beautiful, wonderful nation. So now he's trying to include everybody. Now he's speaking unity. Okay. Notice these keywords. If we make a fair deal, the American people will be proud of their government. Now, when he says the American people, not our American people or all American, he's talking about the true people that was already here. Okay, y'all gotta read between these lines. Oh, my fault. So so basically what he's saying is if keyword if we, now he's including himself, make, where did I lost my place? Hold on. All right. If we make a fair deal, the American people will be proud. Okay, so most people who would be, patriotic, or Caucasian people, most of those type of people are already proud Americans. The only Americans that aren't proud of their country, let's talk about it. Somebody said, "Y'all better listen." God is freeze. The only type of Americans who are not proud of their own country are the ones who are not getting the fair deal. You understand? So he's not talking about all Americans. He's talking about the original Americans. Somebody said, self elevation. All right, let's keep going. Y'all gotta read between these lines. Da, 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 da. Okay, for proving. Okay, so they'll be proud. American people will be proud of their government for proving that we can put country before party. Okay, country represents, a unified place where, people are from. Before party represents the segregation or the separation. Okay, and we both know that most political parties are hugely segregated due to race. So he's using that as a key word for race. Okay. Um, we can show all Americans. See, here we go with Americans and all Americans once again. We can show all Americans and people all around the world that both political parties are united. Here we go again with the united. When it comes to protecting our, now he's using our, not the. So to me, that represents all that money going towards that wall is really going to the American people, not all the American people, but the American people. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as land, resources, programs, things like that. Because if any of you guys have been following a lot of these leaders that have been talking about owning large areas of land or their own states, such as Farrakhan, y'all would understand where this deal is talking about. So, a lot of this money that's going towards this border is going actually towards some American peoples. Okay. Um, and the American peoples decide whether we shift this planet or not. Okay. Or this part of the planet. This part of the planet. Um, okay, so let's keep going. Okay. We can show all Americans and people around the world that both political parties are united when it comes to protecting our country and protecting our people. Okay. So he's including everyone there. Many disagree, but I really feel that working with Democrats and Republicans, we can make a truly great and secure deal happen for everyone. Okay. Walls should not be controversial. Our country was built 654 miles of barrier over the last 15 years. And every career Border Patrol agent I have spoken with has told me what walls work. Told me that walls work. Okay, hold on one second. 654. That's hold on, I gotta do something. Hold on. Oh. I'll do that research later, but I think that represents something else. But I'll do it on my phone because my computer's acting slow. Hold on, it's gonna take 1 second. Mhm. Okay, so the ozone layer hole has been slowly healing over the last couple of years. Okay. So again, I would have to look up the numbers and the measurements of that hole to see if that hole and these numbers have some type of correlation. Okay. Um, but let me just type in the number and see what happens. 654. Hmm. It could also be yeah. Hmm. I have to round it up or round it down. Let's see. Well, I'll do this information later because research takes a little bit more time and I'm live. So um y'all can do that research while I keep talking. It does equal to 6, which also equals to Saturn, and the ability to understand that time travel is possible. Okay, because that's also what the sixth dimension is. Okay, let's keep going. So anyway, miles of barrier for the last 15 years. In every career border troll, in every career border patrol agent I have spoken with has told me that walls work. They do work no matter where you go. They work. No matter where you go, these walls work. So if you're in the middle of the ocean, these walls work. No matter where you go. Then he brings Israel into it. Okay, why he bringing up Israel? Hmm. Let's go back. No matter where you go, even if you're in the sky or in the ocean or underground or in the plane, these walls work. Okay. No matter where you go. That's a very open statement. Okay. Um, they work. But, and then it says Israel built a wall, 99.9% successful. And then it says, won't be any different for us. So I'm not even going to go into that. But what he's saying is there's there's a wall built in Israel that keeps certain things out and protects those people. And here's the deal. Even though he's saying all of this, that wall's not going to get built. Okay? Let's just this is the key right here when he starts bringing in Israel. When he uses the example of Israel and 99.9% successful, that's almost 100%. And he couldn't say 100% because that's just not true. So he says it won't be any different for us. They keep criminals out. They save good people. Now he's saying who's good and who's bad. Now he's starting to separation again. You see, after the word Israel, now he starts talking about separation once again. Now this is the mirror. Okay. But there's not going to be a wall. Y'all, you're getting hopes up. So now this is the mirror aspect of this is where they say the second Trump comes in. Oh, there's two Trumps. Here goes the second one. He's about to start speaking. Y'all ready? um, if y'all see a troll in him, and here, just ignore them. They are trying to get me to click on them so they can hack my YouTube, and I don't fall for that kind of stuff. Plus, you know, they have a crush on me and they want me to notice them. I'm married and they don't have enough money. Okay, so here we go. Um, just so y'all know. So here we go. The parties that are protected. Okay, da, da, da. So here's the Israel. This is the separation. Now here's the other Donald Trump. He's going to start to speak now. Won't be any different for us. They keep criminals out. They save good people from attempting a very dangerous journey from other countries. Okay. They save good people from attempting a very dangerous journey. Okay. This is spiritual right here. With all these new age spiritualists and people teaching, oh, you're going to ascend and you're going to turn into light ethereal, and you're going to go to different star systems. Not all people can do that. So when they die, they're not going to dangerously attempt this move and be disintegrated. You know what I'm saying? So when they reach the pull of the sun, you know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when I spoke to you guys about when someone spirit dies and they try to leave the earth, the electromagnetic frequency of the sun pulls them back. Y'all remember the movie Constantine, where hell was the sun? It looked just like the sun. Okay, that's what he's speaking about right here. So basically, what he's saying is it will stop people from attempting a very dangerous journey. Okay, they think they have a glimmer of hope coming through. What's a glimmer of hope? The afterworld, the afterlife. Okay, there's a glimmer of hope coming through. With a wall, they don't have that hope. A lot of people were asking me, I'm not answering questions right now. A lot of people were asking me, well, what happens if once you ascend and after you turn to the plasma, where do you go? Well, that depends on who you are. You know, um, Less melanated people, their light or their energy will disintegrate or dissipate. Okay, so this is what he's speaking about. Um, with the wall, they don't have that hope. They keep drugs out and they dramatically increase efficiency by allowing us to patrol far larger areas with far fewer people. It's just common sense walls work. Okay, so they keep drugs out and they dramatically increase efficiency by allowing us for patrol. Okay, so when he uses the word drugs, this this is also true with with real life, but in the sense that he's using it, these drugs are the side effects to these energies, like the UVB rays, the radiation from the sun. They cause severe depression. They cause hallucinations, the same effects that drugs have on people. Okay. They also have, okay, so they said they keep drugs out and they dramatically increase efficiency by allowing us to patrol far larger areas. So to increase the efficiency dramatically by allowing us to patrol far and longer areas, that means you could be outside. Okay. And it also represents, it's just common sense walls work. So it's just common sense. These walls work. Okay. Um, that's why I'm continuing. That's why most of the Democrats in Congress have voted in the past for bills that include walls and physical barriers. Physical barriers. So why would he say in the past Democrats voted for bills that include walls and physical barriers. I thought a wall was a physical barrier. So now he's telling you once again that wall means two different things. Okay. And if you're just tuning in, I'm not talking about a physical wall. Okay. So again, he's talking about two types of walls. Now let's keep reading. These walls we are building are not medieval walls. Medieval. Why did he go in and put in medieval? What were medieval walls made out of? Okay. Now we got to look that up real quick. Bricks, stones, physical, like big chunks of metal. You know what I'm saying? Stone. Okay. Medieval castle walls were made of stone. But these are not walls that you can create out of things on the ground, basically. So they're not medieval walls either. They are smart walls designed to meet the needs of frontline border agents. Smart walls. Intelligent walls, walls with intelligence. Okay. To meet the needs of frontline border patrol agents. Smart walls, intelligent walls designed to meet the needs of frontline border agents. Okay. That are operationally effective. These barriers are made of steel and have see-through visibility. Okay. Now we have to go back to what steel represents because that's an alchemy. Steel represents mercury, which represents alchemy. Alchemy represents arts of the Black land. Okay. And intelligent iron and see through walls would represent, oh, and also carbon. Also carbon. So there's your material, there's your alchemy, there's your mercury, there's your see through wall. Okay. Y'all got to break down the chemistry in this one now. And then it says, these barriers, okay, no, they're proportionally effective. These barriers are made of steel and have see-through visibility, not walls, but visibility. Okay, he's interchanging words, which is very important and are equipped with sensors, monitors, and cutting-edge technology, including state-of-the-art drones. We do not need 2,000 miles of concrete wall from sea to shining sea. See? So he's telling you these walls are not brick nor concrete, but have see-through visibility. The Black land is Kemet. Kemet is Egypt, where alchemy, science, civilization with certain technologies began, writing and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. Okay. The land of Kim, the Black lands, Africa. Okay. So again, going back. So basically, there's these walls with drones, 2,000 miles. We never needed those walls. He's saying we never needed concrete walls. So again, here's the truth sandwich. We don't need 2,000 miles of concrete wall from sea to shining sea. We never did. Okay, so from sea to shining sea, why do you need a wall on the coastline? See what he's saying? From sea to shining sea, not from Texas to California, because that's the only part of the US that needs a wall. He said the whole thing. So again, think about this. Very strategic. You don't need a wall on the coastline of Alabama or Louisiana or Florida. Okay. What what they're speaking about is this wall in the sky. The ozone, the electromagnetic frequency, the pull of the northern magnetic pole. Okay. So it says we never proposed that. We never wanted that because we have barriers at the border where our natural structures are as good as anything that we can build. Our natural structures. Okay. So what's that? What's the natural structure? Oh my goodness. Um, the ozone. They are already there. They've been there for millions of years. What he's talking about? For millions of years. How does he know? Were they I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. Now, what type of president speech talks about natural structures that's been here for millions of years when, if he's Christian, Earth only started 6,000 years ago? Think about this one. Y'all got to break this science down because when Trump speaks, he sounds stupid because he's speaking in code. Just like y'all think all those rappers that are dumb, but they're speaking in code. Yeah, he's stupid, but this whole speech is telling you the exact truth. Here, let's break it down again. The next paragraph. Okay. Our proposed structures will be in predetermined high risk locations that have been specifically identified by the border control to stop illicit flows of people and drugs. Okay. Do y'all remember when I tell you people were being targeted? Certain areas were being targeted. Like all these natural disasters weren't happening in the hood. The fires of California weren't happening in the hood. The hurricanes of Florida weren't in the back, hood areas of Florida. They were on that little coastline where a lot of Caucasian people live. The South Carolina hurricanes, all the stuff that's been happening has not really been happening in these hood areas. And when I say hood areas, I mean predominantly minority areas according to the United States. Okay. So again, right here, he's saying our proposed structures will be in predetermined high risk locations that have been specifically identified by the Border Patrol to stop illicit flows of people and drugs. Okay, to stop illicit flows of people and drugs. Okay, so the lands that have been targeted are mostly lands that belong heavily to the native people of this country for real. Think about it. California, Texas, um, the Carolinas, and Florida, all that was not this. Okay, and that's what all the people like the Kardashians and all the movie stars' homes burnt, all the rich peoples in the hills of California, their house burnt down. I'm not racist. I'm just telling you what's real. I promise you. Okay. If y'all think this is about race, I didn't start the fire, as Billy Joel said. So I'm just breaking down the speech. I'm just breaking down the speech. I have knowledge of symbolism and a lot of things that are going on. And I'm just simply breaking down the speech for the people that are wanting to know. Okay. Um, right. I'm looking past it. I'm getting the science and the information. Otherwise, you can't get the knowledge if you are only focused on this and that. Get the knowledge and you'll know what to do next. Okay. Um, let's keep reading. Okay, the illicit flows of people and drugs. No border security plan can ever work without a physical barrier. Just doesn't happen. At the same time, here we go again. At the same time, we need to increase drug detection technology and manpower to modernize our ports of entry, which are obsolete. The equipment is obsolete. They're old. They're tired. This is something we all have come to agree on and will allow for quicker and safer commerce. These critical investments will improve and facilitate legal trade and travel through our lawful ports of entry. Our plan also includes desperately needed humanitarian assistance for those being exploited and abused by coyote smugglers. Okay, so this goes super deep. If you've read the Emerald Tablets, you already know what this is saying. Okay, go read the Emerald Tablets. This is exactly when Thoth speaks about um, when you're trying to leave the earth and astral travel, that there are guards at the gates, Anubis, okay? And if you are detected and you are not, uh, your body, your spirit body is not moving in a spiral, you will be hunted down. Coyote represents Anubis, okay? Um, and also, yes, so Anubis is your judge in the ancient Egyptian stories. And also, it's in the Emerald Tablets when you leave your body, when your soul tries to leave the earth. There are ports to get out, there are ways to get out. But if you're not supposed to get out and you're detected, and to protect other things, you'll be hunted down and smuggled wherever they're going to take that energy. Okay. So see this as above, so below, as within, so without. See this like this. Okay. So let's keep going. Okay. But okay, so it says lawful ports of entry. Because in the Emerald Tablets, it does say that you only have this long to be out and return. You only got 6 hours to get in and get out, get your astral travel on and get in and get out. If you don't follow these rules, if you don't have your passport, if you're not traveling in a spiral, if you don't get back to your body before the sunrise, then you're going to get got. And whatever they do with your energy, we have no control over. So when he's talking about the humanitarian assistance for those being exploited and abused by coyote smugglers and the dangerous journey north, the North Pole is one of the ways to get out of the planet. It even specifically says it in the Emerald Tablets. Okay? Journey to the north. Journey to the north and seek out the gate. Y'all, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got to read these Emerald Tablets because everything he's saying is straight up Emerald Tablet. Okay, and y'all, that's where the hole in the ozone was, right up above Canada and the United States. Okay, so they're trying to rebuild that. And since the magnetic hole or the magnetic north is shifting, now that portal is shifting. Okay. Okay. Um, so they can be rebuilt. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's keep going. The requests we have put in before Congress are vital to ending the humanitarian and security crisis of our southern border. Absolutely vital, will not work without it. Okay. So the southern border, absolutely vital, will not work without it. The polls. Okay. In order for the electromagnetic field to balance itself back out, because right now it's going crazy, you need to secure the North and the South Pole. That's the law of polarity. That means everything has to be balanced. Everybody got to be happy. Everyone, all Americans have to be happy. Or else we just going to keep shifting up higher and higher until there's nothing to protect. Okay, here we go. This crisis. Okay, when you talk about a crisis, it's not a few people sneaking over the border of Mexico. That's not a crisis. A crisis is when people get on the news and start, you know, being upset and telling everyone that this is a crisis, a state of emergency. Da, 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 da. Okay, this crisis threatens the safety of our country and thousands of American lives. Okay, but there's criminal cartels, narco terrorists, transnational gangs. Okay, so he's just talking about all these gangs, da, 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 da. Traffickers violating U.S. laws and terrorizing innocent communities, human traffickers. Da, 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 da. Okay, so now he's back to um, the other Donald Trump now. Okay, so he's flipping and flopping. So the reason where he switched was when he says that it will not work without it. The South Pole is at the bottom in the end, so that was a completion of his old self. Now this crisis, now he's going back to talking about the literal mistreatment of the women and the children. Okay, and how the trafficking and the human trafficking, and how we're seen as products and not, people and things like that. So the Trinity, the physical Trinity, is the mother, father, and the child. Okay, and the mother and the children are not being treated correctly in this country, in most places in the world. So he's bringing awareness to the need for. It says women are tied up and bound, duct tape put around their faces. That means they're silenced around their mouths. Keywords: silenced around their mouth. Politically, and when people talk about solutions to problems, they don't listen to women or children when we have the answers. Okay, obviously, you know, we don't view things mostly from our ego. We just don't. We just want the solution because we have kids that we need to survive. Okay. So we don't really look for power. We don't look for fame. We don't look for ego to be stroked. We look for solutions because we have kids. Okay. Um, so it's saying that women are silenced by these gangs or these patriarchal members of society, and they're put in backs of cars or vans or trucks. Okay, now they don't go through your port of entry. That means the ports of entries are humans. The ports of entries are people going in and out. This means this is the original goddess and Trinity that's always been here on earth. Okay, because they're not visitors. They're not going in and out. They're part of the planet. So what he's saying is They don't go through your ports of entry. They make a right turn going very quickly. These are beings that are able to shift us in right degree angles, which is exactly how the Earth's magnetic pole shifts, only in right angles, 90 degrees. This is science. So you're talking about the planet. Okay. Very quickly. Pole shifts, quick shifts, planetary dimensional shifts. Okay. Very quickly. They go into the desert areas or wherever areas you can look at. Sky. The space, the last frontier, and the sky is also symbolized as the desert, especially in the Bible. In many spiritual writings, it is seen as the desert. Okay. Um, let's keep going. They go into desert areas or whatever areas you can look at, and as soon as there is no protection, they make a left or a right into the United States of America. So basically, this represents these shifts. Because if you notice, when you go look at the moon does not crescent anymore like this. It crescents like this from the bottom, like a smile. Do you remember in the Lil Wayne song when he says, when he looks backwards, the U-turn looks like a smile? The one with the song Don't Cry? The moon looks like a smile now. It doesn't look like a crescent anymore. So when you see that crescent moon sign, it's like, I don't see that anymore. Outside, I was looking at the moon last night. It's like this. It's like a smile. So when the planet shifts 90 degrees, the view of the moon also shifts. hmm So that's why your moon looks like a smile, okay, and not like a crescent, sideways, horizontal anymore. Because we've shifted. Because we make a left or a quick right. Okay. Because we're being silenced. Because we don't have a say. Because if you don't take care of the mother, then she's gonna take care of herself. Okay. And that's why all these shifts are happening. And that's why they're targeting women's emotions with Chris Brown and R. Kelly and the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement. The Me Too movement is exactly what the shifts are. Okay. So these Me Too, even if it's false, because we already know that some people are going to jump on the bandwagon because they don't really know what it is and whatever. But it's this. Okay. The movement. And then y'all remember Oprah's speech? Sorry, I'm eating my mic and and she got up there in her little glasses, gave her speech, and said, "This is it. It's over." And Oprah represents goddess, mother goddess. Whether you like her or not, that's what she represents on this planet. Her archetype. And she got up there and told everybody what was finna go down. She said, "No more." I have to break down her speech one day. Okay, so when you start talking about the human trafficking and the mothers and the kids and the women being tied up, silenced. Okay. Make a left or right into the United States of America. There's nobody to catch them. There's nobody to catch them. There's nobody to find them. They can't come through the port because if they come through the port, people will see 4 women sitting in a van with tape around their face and around their mouths. Four, four women, four parts of Earth. I mean, four: earth, air, fire, water. Earth. I'm eating alien food. hmm The elements. Can't have that. So he says, can't have that. And that problem, because of the internet, is the biggest problem. It's never been like this before. 5G, baby. 4G, 4G waves through the air, the elements. Now we're going to shift into 5G. Let's keep going. Sorry, y'all. It's never been like this before that you can imagine. Talking about the levels of consciousness. 4D is one level. 5D is another level. 4G is a level of internet. 5G is a level of internet. So they're using these, intertwined. Okay, so here we go. It's never been like that before that you can imagine. It's at the worst level. It's at the worst level. 5G. Everybody's scared. Everybody's afraid of 5G. 5G. Ooh, that's gonna hurt us. It's at the worst level. Okay, human trafficking in the history of the world. This is not a United States problem. This is a world problem, but they come through areas where they have no protection, where they have no steel barriers, where they have no walls, and we can stop most 100% of that. The profits reaped by these murderous organizations are used to fund their malign and destabilizing conduct throughout the hemisphere. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. The hemisphere, um, level of human trafficking. Okay, so remember when I was telling you guys about how 5G is going to enslave spirits, the dead? Because that frequency will absorb or basically kidnap the spirits that are on the planet. If you can't leave the earth, then you stay on earth as a spirit. You may be able to reincarnate, but you can't leave the planet. But if you're in between your reincarnations on the planet, or if you haven't figured out how to get to the next point of your life, or to back to your another body, you can be enslaved by the 5G to make the internet go faster. The frequency that the 5G will be on is the same frequency as spirits are on, because these frequencies are light and sound waves. And the same frequency that 5G is on is the same frequencies as spiritual matter. So grandma gonna be enslaved by the 5G. She's gonna be human trafficked unless y'all get these walls up. Because with these walls, well, he's just telling you what's to come, basically. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. The northern hemisphere. So y'all saying that the southern hemisphere doesn't have an issue with 5G? How many people below the equator have heard uh, are being offered 5G? I'm just curious. Hmm. Walls don't mean trees. Walls mean the electromagnetic field around the planet and the ozone. Okay. Got rich in any city, you need 5G. Okay, so does anybody that lives in South America, Africa, below Central America, are y'all being offered 5G? I don't know if you guys are watching. I'm just asking just for my own information and research. Um, okay, let's move on. I'll read them later and see if anyone came through talking about it. Okay. Um, okay. In the last 2 years, ICE offers ICE officers arrested a total of 2,000 no 266,000 criminal aliens inside of the United States, including those charged or convicted of nearly da, 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 six. Okay, so now he's just trying to fill in the blanks between, you know, the information and the coded information. Um, Also, he's comparing what this 5G energy can also represent if you need an example of the physical representation. There's a helicopter going on. Of the physical representation of this enslavement of these spirits is the same as human trafficking, is what he's trying to say. Um, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so vast quantities of lethal drugs, including meth, fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine, are smuggled across our southern border and into U.S. schools and communities. Drugs kill much more than 70,000 Americans a year in the cost of. Okay, so in here, he's talking about, okay, uppers, okay? Uppers, not downers. Remember when I told you all depressants will make the UVB rays worse. So he didn't mention marijuana. He didn't mention, anything like that. He mentioned straight up uppers. So because he's not talking about the weed. He's talking about the uppers because the uppers, we'll go into that later, are not are as detrimental as the downers or the depressants. The sheer volume of illegal immigration. Da, 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 okay. Um, So then he's talking about the people, the energies that are getting in are very, very sick and making other people sick. This represents the UVB rays. Okay. Um, Very, very sick. And notice how he gives you the cure before he gives you making people very, very sick. He gives you the uppers. He says these uppers, you know, and then he tells you about the immigrants or the energies that are getting in past the borders that are making everyone very, very sick, and that will create a health crisis. Okay, and we've already talked about that. Being the UVB rays making people very sick from UVB radiation. Um, Last couple of years, okay, da, da, da. Our immigration laws are all over the world. They're the laughing stock all over the world. Our immigration laws all over the world, they have been there for a long time. They are laughing stock all over the world. We do not have the necessary space or resources to detain, house, vet, screen, and safely process this tremendous influx of people. So what he's saying here is there's too many people here and a bunch of people about to die because we're overcrowded. Y'all already knew that this a lot of this was um a depopulation thing. But the depopulation is going to come through um you know the UVB rays. In short, we do not have control over who is entering our country, where they come from, who they are, why they coming. This is why the rings around Saturn are dissipating. Okay. The result for many years is a colossal danger to public safety. They're going to straighten it. No, we're going to straighten it out. So the Bird Box movie, okay, all these entities, these energies that have been circling Saturn, now since the last all these last years, the rings around Saturn have been dissipating because the hole in the ozone layer has been opening, and these energies are now entering back into the planet. Okay. Um. Anyway, again, last month was the third straight month in a row. Blah 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 blah. Last month was December, third straight month in a row. Okay, most of the stuff started in October. Okay, Scorpio. The sign of the scorpion is in all of the ancient texts, the Scorpion King. Um, 3 months ago was October because last month minus 3 months is October. Drake's album, Scorpion. Archer, death, yes. So that's when it all started. And that's when the sun started going crazy. Do y'all remember that? That was one of the when people started noticing the rainbow around the sun. That's another telltale sign. Okay. 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 We have the strongest economy now in the entire world. You see what's happening. So the strongest economy represents um, the strongest e- currency, the frequency. Okay. Y'all remember when I told y'all money and finance is a frequency? We have the strongest frequency. The US has the strongest frequency because of the different types of people that are here. Okay. Um, da, 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 da. You see what's happening. So he puts down, you see what's happening. We have nowhere left to house them and no way to promptly remove them. We can get them out because our laws are so obsolete, so antiquated, and so bad. Without new resources from Congress, we will be forced to release these people into communities, something we don't want to so called catch and release. Okay, da, da, da. So basically, this is saying, well, we're so overcrowded, the earth is going to cleanse itself of certain people because, you know, that's just nature, I guess. The laws are obsolete. The law, the universal law, the laws of nature, it's obsolete, you know, um, and so antiquated. Like, so the laws can't be broken. The laws are old. They may seem old fashioned, but they can't be broken because they're universal law. Okay. It says without new resources from Congress, we will be forced to release these people into communities. That represents we will be forced to sacrifice some folks. Okay. Something we don't want to do is called catch and release. You catch them, even if they are, criminals, but we're not looking at the word criminals, but this, something that is in opposition to you, and then release them. You can't release them from where they came. So go into our country and end up in places that you would least suspect, and we do as little re- releasing as possible, but they're coming by the hundreds of thousands. Okay, so right here, this represents, okay, you know how NASA has been having their gamma ray detector in outer space, and they're trying to see these gamma rays that are shooting at the earth, or these energies and plasma clouds that are coming towards the earth. Go research NASA. NASA has been researching these gamma rays that are coming into the earth, into the planet, and also the plasma clouds headed toward earth. They have been studying them. Go to NASA's website, it's on there. So this represents, they can't stop that. They cannot stop all this energies from penetrating the planet. Okay, so that's what that means. They have zero. Da, 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 da. Let me go into the next paragraph. The painful reality is that the tremendous economical and financial burdens of illegal immigration fall on the shoulders of low-income Americans, including millions of wonderful, patriotic, law-abiding immigrants who enrich our nation. Okay, so again, he's talking about minorities. The whole reason this is happening is because the tremendous economic and financial burdens of um, immigrants, they're not really immigrants, and low income Americans, which are probably going to most likely be minorities, including millions of wonderful, patriotic, law abiding immigrants who enrich our nation. So he's saying, all y'all minorities, all y'all brown people are causing this, are causing these energies to enter the planet, are causing these shifts because y'all are not happy. See how he's using his words to say brown people nicely? Um, right? Okay. Anyone, right. Anyway, you said this sound like Hunger Games? I'm just interpreting the speech. I didn't write the speech. Okay. This speech is too long. Oh, it's almost done. Hold on. Mm. As commander in chief, my highest priority is the defense of our, now he's including everybody, great country. We cannot surrender operational control over the nation's borders to foreign cartels, traffickers, smugglers, whatever. Um, so what he's saying is, we cannot surrender over our nation's border to this new technology that is going to enslave the spirits of the planet. We want future Americans to come to our country legally and through a system based on merit. This is not representing the Mexican people trying to apply for citizenship. This is reincarnation right here. Okay. Listen very carefully. We want future Americans to come to our country legally through a system based on merit. We need people to come to our country. So, if there are people who have passed away, who have died, their spirit is still on a frequency, okay? They can't leave, so it's still here. They can reincarnate, which if they're probably American, they're probably going to reincarnate in an American body. Okay. Which many past lives that have been researched and almost proven, most of the people come back as their same race. Most people come back as their same country and language. Okay. So their merit represents whether they deserve another chance at life or not, another chance in a human body. Their spiritual afterlife may be being spirit guides since they really can't leave. Their spirit life may be learning and observing the rights and wrongs so that they can come back and correct them. You know what I'm saying? So when he's talking about these people coming into America, he's speaking of souls. And if 5G becomes this giant thing, those souls will then become enslaved. And that's where you see in the Matrix movie where the machines start, um, because 5G does control robotics and computers and internet. That's when the machines start to take over because of the enslaved spirits that cannot leave the planet. So he's trying to stop that from going. Um, and in order to stop that from happening, a large amount of money needs to be given to the brown people of America, whether it's in land, um, whether it's in treatment, whether it's in capital, currency, treatment, whatever, wealth. That's the deals that are being made, right? So, and that's why he speaks about fair, because he already knows that the scales were not tipped in the correct or the right way in the beginning. Come on, kitty. So now they're trying to even the scales. Okay. Um, I don't think it's going to be reparations because let's just face it, if we were giving a lot of money, they would be spent in 2 months. So it's going to be more of a uh, mm, I'll have to go into that on another video, but it's going to be something that's more useful. Okay. Um, a different education system, a different way of doing things that will benefit everyone. You know what I mean? The truth, things being righted that were wrong. And we don't really need the handout. We need the playing field evened, and everything else will work itself out. You know what I'm saying? Um, you don't need a handout if the rules and everything is fair. Think about it. Only the person that has to cheat has a fear of losing. So the whole point is that's why he uses the word fair. Not equality, but fair. He didn't use equality, he used fair. Just like in the Olympics in the race. Everybody starts off at the start line, and whoever gets to the finish line first, that's it. If the things are fair, it's fair. Okay, let that be the indicator of equality. Is a fair starting place. Um, right. So that's the deals that are going on. It says we have great companies moving back into the United States, and we have the lowest unemployment and the best employment numbers that we've ever had. So companies are group frequencies. Okay, let's break this down. Groups of spirits coming back into the United States, the ancient ones. This is all prophecy in a lot of Native American culture and a lot of African culture, um, and a lot of stuff like that. The ancestors are returning. Okay. The companies are moving back into the United States. This sound like they left and came back, like they were dead and they came back. And we have the lowest unemployment rate. No, the lowest unemployment and the best employment numbers. That we have the most woke people. Unemployment means you're blank up here. You don't have that soul. You don't have that memory. We have the best employment numbers we've had in years. We have the most woke people we've had in years that we've ever had. That's what this means. Okay. Um, there's only three more small paragraphs. There are many people working today in the United States that have ever worked in our country. We need people to come in to help us, the spirits, okay? The return of the gods to help us. Um, to farm, okay? Who invented farming? Who did they get to come farm in the first place? Let's break it down there. Yeah, somebody said, "Come on." Well, I just see what I see. That's all. I just see what I see. All I'm doing is breaking down these words to come back and help us, the farms. And with all these great companies, you're in good company when you're around good people and spirits, right? All these great companies that are moving back. Finally, they are moving back. Thank God they moving back. Okay? People said it couldn't happen. It's happening. That's what the speech says. People said it couldn't happen. It's happening. And we want them to enjoy the blessings of safety and liberty and the rule of law. The rule of the law. That is universal law. Straight up. So when y'all listen to Trump, y'all have to do this. Y'all got to go and print out that speech or pull it up in the text form and go line by line and understand what he's really trying to tell you. Okay. Um, okay, here we go. Two more small paragraphs, then it's over. We cannot protect and deliver these blessings without a strong and secure border. I believe that crime in this country can go down by a massive percentage if we have great security on our southern border. This represents all the energies that are out and about in the cosmos are able to get in and out and influence through through influence many people. And a lot of people that are influenced to do crime are influenced through these entities, okay, or energies or frequencies, I shall say. Okay. Because of the so let me give you a good example. You attract what you vibrate. Is that true? Yes. So if you're vibrating anger, if you're vibrating, a certain thing, that's what you're going to attract in. And that's what's going to connect to you. So we're mad, we're angry, we don't have the fair playing field. So, of course, stuff in the cosmos is going to be attracted to that feeling and come on in. So if everyone's happy, if we're on the frequency of what they call love, if everyone feels loved and are vibrating at their highest frequency, I said everyone, then that's what we will attract, stuff to help. And since there are more people that are actually awakened now and attracting these energies back in, the more people that wake up, the more good stuff that will come in. And it's not about love in a sense of, oh, I love you. It's about love in a sense of self love, in a sense of happiness, in a sense of loving the fact that you can do what you want to do in this world. Okay. So when you're vibrating in love, it means you're happy, you have bliss, you have joy. You love yourself, you love your family, you love your kid. You don't see everyone and everything as the enemy, even your own wife, ex-wife, girlfriend, or whatever. You don't see any of that because most of those angers and most of those issues are results of poverty mind and not having enough. Okay. And so once you realize that, once the poverty goes away, once you're out of survival mode, your frequency raises. You have time to research, read. You have time to spend with your family. You have time to, put in effort that you couldn't put in before. You have time to seek more than a lower urge to get yourself off quick and get back into survival mode. A lot of people, don't associate sex with love anymore because they're in survival mode. They can't afford to love anymore. So that's why on my other channel, if y'all watch my other channel, that's why I speak about getting some money. Okay, so let's do this last paragraph so we can get questions. Okay, believe it, crime in the country will go down by a massive percentage if we have great security on our southern border. Our southern border, our red chakra. Now we're speaking about everything as above, so below, as within, so without. So our southern border is our sacral chakra, our lower survival red chakra. Okay. Okay. Southern. Okay. Okay. I believe drugs, large percentages of what come through the southern border will be cut by a number nobody will believe. So I was discussing this with self evolution about the sacral chakra being uh, vampirized and entities stealing energy. Remember? Um, that's why they use Lil Wayne to deliver this message because if y'all remember, he was said to have been raped, which is stealing the key energy, but as I was told, from the sacral chakra, the energies. Okay. It also represents the South Pole entry of the planet Earth, and also represents where energy can be taken or put in. Yeah, you did. See, you caught it. And it goes directly with the speech at the end of the speech. This is at the end of the speech. So the bottom. Um, so let me be very clear. So then this is how he ends it. So let me be very clear. We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. He's giving you the option to choose what you want that wall to represent. Wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again. So, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws of the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency. We will have great security, and I want to thank you all very much. Thank you very much. So, whatever law he's talking about in the Constitution of the United States, there is a controversial book called The Last President that talks about everything that's going on and includes someone named Barron Trump. So, the numbers that he's using, February 12th, 2019. So we have 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 1 plus the 2, 9, 11 gateway that's going to be opened. And that's it. Um, the last president. That's it. That's the speech. The last president, he's 45, number 9. Exactly. Number 9 is completion. Nibiru, planet 9. That's it. So, so these last words sound like the last words Michael Jackson used in that speech on This Is It, where he was holding everyone's hand in a circle. He says, I want to thank you all very much. Thank you very much. He says it twice because he's speaking to two different types of people. Okay? And that's the speech, and it's broken down the best that I could do. I'll probably see more in it later because this is my first time looking at this speech. I wanted to do it live and on what they call just looking at it for the first time because I listened to it, but I didn't see the words. Now I'm looking at the words and I can see more looking at the words. I'm sure some of you numerologists and astrologers um, and people that are really good with what symbolism and things like that mean can interpret this on a even grander scale. But I just gave you the start. It's up to us to go do our own further research. But this is what I got from it just by reading over this speech one time with you guys. So when you hear things, remember you have to stay out of emotion because think about this. I was watching this movie Traffic last night about the girls being human trafficked. And the only way to get messages, the one lady that was in the bathroom to get her message out was to speak in code and to trick people and to make people listen who don't listen. That to me, if you've seen the movie Traffic with what was her name, Paula Patton, you'll see that a lot of things have to be done in code in order to get messages out. You can't just come on the giant screen and say what I just said because people will start going crazy and looting and shooting people. Okay. Thank you, Monique. So they have to say it in code for people that understand these types of things to tell people who seek this type of information. And those type of people aren't believed in a mass quantity because they're labeled, oh, they're conspiracy theorists, oh, they're crazy, oh, blah, 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 blah. But those are the exact people whose videos get shut down and the exact people that are always right in the end. The crazy person, always right in the end. So just so y'all know that, just keep that in mind. And also it's for your protection. Oh, that's just some crazy person. They don't know what's going on. Great. You're protected because of your craziness. Okay. But you know, and you can prepare and do whatever you need to do and understand what's going on without panicking like the rest of the people who are sheep. And you'll be calm. You'll know what to do. You'll know how to supplement. You'll know what's going down because you know the information. And you'll be sought after for your information later on from the people that have no idea what's going on. Okay. So I will see y'all later. I was going to answer questions. Okay. I'll do a few questions. So do y'all have some questions? Um, Let me get my water. Let me pull y'all up over here because they're going too fast. Do I believe in aliens? We are the aliens. I mean, how do you think life got started on Earth? Do you think this is what Kanye spoke with? Yeah, Kanye knows all this stuff. He has an album with Kid Cudi called "Kids See Ghosts Sometimes." Go listen to that album. And then one called a song called Fourth Dimension, a song called Free, a song called Kids See Ghosts. It's all in there. hmm Um, I'm not connected to any Masons. I just research. I mean, the information is out there if you look for it. You know, if you have to join a group in order to search for information, however you get it is up to you. But it doesn't really matter. Someone outside is playing Kanye right now. Hold on, let me pull you guys up on my big screen because these words are going too quick. Y'all are asking to me. Re-ask your question if I have not answered it. Like, give it a few seconds and then re-ask it. Don't just say, "Will you answer my question?" because it's already scrolled up and it's gone. So just copy and paste it over. You know what I'm saying? What's a good way to get rid of a walk-in or attachment? To vibrate on a higher level. Um, Vibrate on a higher level, which means learn more. Um, a lot of times, if you have what they call a walk-in or an attachment, it means that you're on a frequency that they are on and they can use you for what they want to do it. If you're on a higher frequency, they can't really use you. Okay. It's just like trying to use an iPhone 4 and download one of them apps that you can only get on the X. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. Okay. Let me, is Trump's plans to include Freemasonry? There's two types of powers in the world. And y'all have to understand this. Y'all really got to understand this. There's two types of powers in the world. They're um, the opposite spectrum. Now, the elites on each side have different agendas. Okay, so the side that Trump is on was not the same side as George Bush and all of them. Thank you. Do that G walk. I've been contemplating about talking on spirituality on Facebook. Is it my job to enlighten or no? Because there are too many dumb people on there. I said earlier, thank you for the donation, by the way. The more people that are awakened, the better the country will be. Okay. The more solutions will come through, the more information that is needed will come through at this time. So, yeah, go wake some people up. I mean, if you put it out there, you're not forcing it, they have to find it. So, they want to awaken. if they watch it. Hmm. It is said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's true. When will martial law pop off? In the spirit world, it's already popping off with 5G. Okay. Um, so here's my thing now. With 5G, if you jump on the 5G, you are going to be part of that. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. So if you notice, AT&T is now 5G or getting 5G. Verizon, I think, is getting 5G. So we'll see who decides not to do 5G and see what happens. Uh-huh. 5G is one step up from 4G, the signal for the internet. Um, can we consider Trump helpful or harmful to mankind? Um, it depends on who you are and what you understand to whether you think something is helpful or harmful to humankind, because there's different types of humans. Okay, if you don't understand that, then you can't get that answer. Um, that's why he talks what he says, Americans, then all Americans, because there's two different Americans. Hmm. Now, right. And those of you who are coming in thinking you know things, that is another thing. Like he says, Trump is owned by Jews. That's false. Mhm. Obama might have been, but not Trump. Y'all really got to understand the whole story. Y'all don't have the entire story. Y'all don't have the entire story. And when you make assumptions, you have no understanding. And the whole point is not to like or hate this person. It's to get the extract the information and use it for your benefit. If you are emotionally being pulled in, you are on a lower frequency. Okay, you are further away from what they call the higher frequency when you emotionally pick at people. This means you are an easy target. Okay. And I'm just being scientific with you guys. Anyone, ooh, F this, ooh, this is, y'all are the sheep. Even though you think you're awake, if you are emotional about any of this, you're still sheep. You might be halfway, you might have one eye, you might be a sheep with one eye open, but you're still a sheep if you get emotionally triggered. Okay. So remember that. Y'all see how Trump walks around with no emotion. Okay. Because he's not doing anything personal. He's giving you information and he's following orders and also giving you information. And that's all you have to understand. Anything else, you're being sucked and drained of your energy and you're on a lower level frequency. The emotions have to go as far as how you feel about a messenger. Getting the information that is going to be beneficial to you and your family, which is the frequency of love and self love, is your higher frequency. To be upset at something you have no power over, except the power of knowledge to understand what he's actually doing, is useless. So you have to understand this. You have to understand this. You're not awake if you are still emotional about a person you will never meet, ever know. Get the information, extract the knowledge, do what is best for you and your family. That's all you're supposed to be doing. Okay. Um, some people are not going to awaken if unless they seek to be awoke, awoke, awakened. So if you talking about family, all you can do is maybe leave a Facebook video, YouTube video running, maybe watch it around them and let them pick up on some things and then let them have interest instead of you trying to force it on them. I don't think if you force stuff on people that they'll take it easily. They'll probably try to push it away. So, uh-huh. Hmm. Desert Wolf, your Jews and Jewish people are two different people. Okay, you got to go learn that too. Um, y'all better go learn that. Tell them. Jews and Jewish people are two different things. Two different people. Like, you know how they say, oh, what color is that? Oh, that's red. Or when something is not fully red, what do they call? Oh, that's reddish. Ish. Okay. So understand, you can't label something that is not something. Um, that's right. So ish means not. Okay. That's like you're gonna order some earbuds off of wish.com. They're not gonna be iPods. They're gonna be ish. Okay, that's what they're gonna be. iPod-ish. um, People won't listen. I know they ain't gonna listen. Let them figure it out. So when you talk about Jewish people, it's not talking about Jews. So you can't really be talking about Jews if you're talking about Jewish people. And Judaism is a religion. So you can't have, you can't, I'm not talking about a religion. Okay. I'm talking about that. So there's two, like, you know how they say, oh, I got a new Gucci purse. Oh, I got a new coochie purse. You know what a C is a G or the G is a C on the purse, but you can't really tell from far away. Jew versus Jewish. Difference. Judaism is a religion. Kinda ish. The same way, like, okay, so for example, if somebody says, oh, right. And it's the same thing with a representation of a certain group, in all around the world. When they show you the face of India, they show a light woman. When you go to India, most of them people are brown. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, said Australia is not real. I'm gonna have to look into that one. A lot of Blackish people too. Yeah, there's a show called Blackish. Uh-huh. And like when they say, oh, African people, they don't show an American person. I mean, they don't show a black person from America. They show a person from Africa or Nigeria, or, I mean, that's in Africa. They show someone actually on the continent of Africa. They don't show um, a picture of uh, Beyonce or Rihanna or whatever, or Taraji P. Henson. They don't show that when they talk about Africans. So we would be Africanish. We have African descent. Right. The same things with the Egyptians. The Egyptians that live in Egypt now are not the same ones that lived in Kemet. So when you talk about these things and you have to talk about two separate types of people, as Donald Trump did in his speech, you have to understand that you you try to make everything the same when it is not. Okay. So you got to understand the differences, and that's why science determines this evidence that there are people on the planet that have a lot of differences. Hmm. Jews, yeah, the music industry, da da da, yeah, but not anymore because there's now black-owned labels, black-owned TV channels, black-owned studios in America, and that's the product is leaving the control, and that's where there's a lot of anger because and threats because now that there's no product, there's no money. You know, if everybody is signing with Lil Wayne and Jay Z and making movies and black owned film production companies, they don't need Hollywood anymore. Or they don't need the Jewish money anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, therefore, the money is going out of their pockets and into the pockets of the entertainers. Okay. So that's why. Hmm. Hmm. If they would pay the artist fairly, no one would be. A few would feel inspired to leave. Well, there's stories behind um, why they want to control the music and things like that without being fair. And because that, if everything was fair, let's think about it. What is everything fair in sports, especially the Olympics? Is fair. But who always wins at the race? You know, the long distance race, them Kenyans are going to win because they naturally, 80, see, you was reading my mind. They're naturally going to win. So making the playing field fair would not ensure success on in certain areas, especially music. And we already know that. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at Prince. You know, so that's not going to happen. So there is no such thing as equality on a fair playing field if it's something that that other type of person excels at naturally. You know, what do climate change really mean? It means we shifted up into a higher dimension where the sun is actually closer. Um, Alchemy picks from Alexander Rube, Alchemy and Alchemy. Hmm. Yep, I have that book. You give up. You should see. You should have answered your question, Erica. I just saw it. Should have kept asking. Wow. We set the trends. Yeah. That is not true about global warming. Complete lie. Exactly. There's no such thing as global warming. It's called global shifting. Um, That's why Donald Trump says that global warming is a lie, because he knows that we're just shifting because of unfair treatment. Do y'all remember what he said about the California fires? He said, due to the poor forest management, uh, evergreen forest trees represent melanated people. Um, okay, we done shifted. Uh, Global warming is global shifting. You shift 90 degrees, you're going to be certain land is going to be closer to the sun, like closer to the equator, where the ozone is thinnest and the sun is brightest and looks largest upon the horizon of the planet. Where the ozone is the thinnest. They said the magnetic North Pole was shifting to Siberia. Go look at that on a map. Um, y'all have to understand that every time we shift, it's 90 degrees. It's a different angle. Like Beyonce said, it's a different angle. Shaun of the Dread, global shifting is a thing. Go look at your moon. It does when it does crescent, it doesn't go like this anymore. It's an upside down smile now because global shifting is a thing. Dimensional shifting. That's why when you look at the moon and it's half full, it looks like this now instead of this because you've shifted. But you probably don't look at the sky. Metatron's cube is opening. Okay, I gotta look into that. Okay, go look outside. Go look up. Okay. I'm eating Mike and Ike's. Yes, I got me a big sauce. Look. You are magical. I got this at Target or something. Okay, and I filled it with a bunch of Mike and Ike's. My stars. Look to the stars for your answer. We control the stars and the angles. Okay. Blood on the dance floor, blood on the knife. We did that by shifting 90 degrees. I mean, you can come in here and try to discredit me, but go look outside at night and go look at the moon. That's exactly why it's going to work, because nobody will believe you. You see, the people that should believe you don't believe you. Well, we don't care. Anyway, you don't. We good. The moon is always rotating, and so is the earth. Okay. Well, you keep telling yourself that. The moon does rotate, but the angle that the sun hits it and that the angle that the earth sees it has changed. Okay? Just think about the triangle of perspective. Think about Pythagorean's theorem and then get back to me. What? I'm just going to, I'm going to do a whole video in code. That is going to be hilarious because y'all just going to call the mental health board on me because it's just going to sound crazy. I'm just going to go do a whole video in code. Y'all gonna think I'm schizophrenic. And guess what? That's exactly what it's gonna sound like because whoever can decode it wins the prize. I gotta write my Donald Trump speech up. Okay. That would be hilarious. That would be like a good challenge though, right? And I would tell you the topic so that you know where to start. You would win, AD. Hey, I might pick three winners because I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet. Because there's a psychological breakdown, like a mental, not really a mental breakdown, but a breakdown of the mental aspect of it, the spiritual aspect of it, and the physical aspect of it. That would be genius, like Michael Jackson does and Kanye West does, to put a physical, spiritual, and mental message that all mean the exact same thing in code that makes sense. That's genius. That's what he did on Thriller. That's why it was the number one selling album ever because it spoke to people on all different levels. Then I should make it a book. Right. I don't know the prize. Maybe I'll give away like a gift card to my store with a lot to spend on it. Hmm. That way you can pick what you want. But I'll have to do it. I'm wondering how can I raise my frequency to communicate with spirit guides? I'm not on a low frequency as most, but I feel stuck where I'm at. Here's my thing. And I'm going to give you a really quick lesson. If your purpose and if your limit and if your reason to raise your vibration is to speak to spirit guides, you ain't never going to do it. So perhaps it should just be to raise your vibration and then everything else is an added bonus or a blessing. Do not aim for that because you're going to miss it. You know how they say shoot for the moon and land among the stars? That's what you that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. Um I want to win. Yay. Well, I haven't done it yet, so just look out for that. It might be I'm not going to give y'all when it's going to be. It's just going to be decode this message. But I have to work on it. Um right. When were so many stars? There were so many stars last night. Hmm. How long is the shift? The shift doesn't last. It's about the length of a storm through the storm. Whenever we get that good old thunderstorm with lots of lightning and thunder, that's the shift. Um, or that blood moon. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all were because we don't shift all at the same time. There's different regions that shift at separate times. So, but in the same 24 hours. So you'll notice. Um, you sleep so good during shifts. Me too. Michael and Kanye are both mercurial sun signs and Pisces moons. Oh, that's cool. Um, my pants. Okay. Um, I look at how many people are watching you. The power to change things. Oh, thank you. I never. I'm looking at the number. Wow. Thanks for watching. Speaking of spirits, good luck dealing with those demonic creatures. I'm dealing with one right now named Mariah. You just the ghost of jealousy. A sucking ghost of jealousy. That's MJ's words. Um, a ghost, not even a demon. I won't give you that title. It's too high for you. Shoot. Just another part of me. Oh, that song Threatened by Michael Jackson. He's speaking as if he is dark matter, dark energy, intelligent melanin. Go listen to the song Threatened. That's what he's personifying. Hmm. The breakdown, the dream from there. Right. What about Prince? Was he Jehovah's Witness? Jehovah's Witness is another word for Freemason. Um, their core beliefs. Yeah, yeah. It's a disguise. I'll be looking for it when you post it. Okay, cool. I'm schizophrenic. Please, no judgment. Comment section. I don't like it myself. Sure. How can I elevate my spirit? Thank you. Um, I don't know if they've done any research or studies on it, but or if there's a chemical imbalance or just some type of imbalance in your brain or what frequency or whatever. But I mean, they do make medication, and the bad thing about those medications is that if you do elevate, you're not. It's going to cut off a lot of your sixth sense because in a lot of movies with like psychics that have visions and speak with the dead, they have to take schizophrenic medication for schizophrenic people in order to stop seeing them. So um, you can elevate, but you probably aren't going to have a lot of the benefits that come with it. Right, right. Um, Stars will solve your problem. Go look outside tonight and figure it out. Okay. Are you still read the book of Enoch? Am I? Yeah, I've read the book of Enoch. I'm still reading it. Um, I don't read it all at once because I like to absorb the knowledge, come back to it, and reread some parts because it's written on a level that things mean different things at different times. It's a work of genius. So it's kind of like if I read it last month, it may not have a certain passage may not have meant anything. And now if the thing already happened and now it's a thing of the past and I read it this month and I recognized um, and decoded what something meant because I've witnessed it, then the whole thing will change. So I read it ever so often to get the new information. That's why it's a timeless book. You know, when the book is written or how it's narrated is from a seventh dimensional perspective. So that's how you have to read it. Um, as Enoch travels and through different times and space and bodies, he's traveling on 7D. Okay, so that's how you have to read it. Hmm. Angels are angles, exactly. The right angle, the right 90 degrees, the right hand of God. Michael represents Michael's, that is which like God, 90 degrees. Half of a plane, half of a dimension. It's sacred geometry. Then you have as above, so below. Then you have the mirror dimension. It's just deep. You got to keep going until you've gone. It's a full circle and it never stops. Okay. Um, don't waste your brain cells. You're gonna need them in the future. Might want to get you a helmet made out of lead too. Um, yeah. I write in my book of life once a week. Write what I write happens. Good for you. See, that's how you do it. Self elevation. I'm just they sell them on Amazon. Those helmets. I don't expect that to be understood on the emotional frequency, right? That's just some information, some extra added information. There is a song called Angels and Angles by the Decemberists. That's cool. Oh my goodness. I forgot to tell you guys. So I grew up in the 80s. The group Tears for Fears. I always loved their music for some reason. And yesterday I'm listening to like this 80s playlist on um, Title, and a Tears for Fears song come up and it makes total sense now. Oh my gosh. I think the song is called Shout. Go look up those lyrics. Shout. Go listen to those lyrics. Shout. The song Shout. Oh my gosh. And then let me show you their album cover. It's great. I'm just gonna sit this right here for a few seconds. And the dude with the long hair was not Caucasian, just so you guys know. He just light skin. He's not Caucasian. His his family was from Argentina and Spain, Basque, Spain, and they named him Raul. And then like a couple of weeks later, they changed his name to um, something else with the R because it sounded too ethnic, and they were living in England. So guess what he named his son? Raul. And he talks about in his music the mistreatment and how things are going to change. And he has all the symbolism right here. Look at this picture. There's Nibiru, there's the half moon, except it's probably the wrong way. But as you can see, there's a wind around it to shift it. Then there's the mountaintop, there's the sun, there's the sunflower, which is blooming consciousness due to the sun. Uh, they both have swords with diamonds that are upside down, which means the ascending crystalline consciousness. Then they have the planes of the earth that shift and can turn. So this stuff has been here for a long time, even in the 80s. There's another representation of the wheel and then the frequency of love. You have the beast coming in that's riding the frequency. Looks like Scrat from Ice Age. See, Scrat from Ice Age. Y'all don't even want to go into Scrat. I'm not even going to go into that right now, but Scrat from Ice Age, very, very interesting. So go listen to the album. Shout is the song. Chasing that acorn. What does he do while he's chasing the acorn? He ruins everything. He sinks Atlantis. He shoots. He goes into outer space and starts shooting up stuff and sending comments to the earth. Sprite is the beast. He's that energy. And the acorn is a seed from the oak tree. Okay, break it on down. He came to disrupt. But he's sweet. All he wants is that acorn. You know what that acorn is? That seed. Does he ever get the acorn? I need to look that up. Does Scrat ever get the acorn? Let me ask Sasha. She probably knows. Hey, Layla and Sasha. Does Scrat ever get the acorn?
No, never.
He never gets it? Darn it. No. Sasha.
He never gets the acorn.
What was the last time he attempted to get the acorn? When he was in outer space?
Yes.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. What?
He already has the acorn because he has melanin.
She said he already has the acorn because he has melanin.
Next.
He's searching for something he already got. That's why he can never get it. The power is within. Sasha told y'all. That wasn't me. She dismissed me because they're playing, so she just said that to shut me up. Yes. I took away their phone so that they would play together. Mm-hmm. Okay, please listen to the band Tutu or Toto, the song Can You Hear What I'm Saying? Okay, Ashira just got phase 1, half ounce of phase 1. Can I go to phase 2 and get another? Sure. Well, if you're going to do the half ounce, just go straight to the phase 2 of half ounce, or just get another half ounce of phase 1. It just all depends. You know what I'm saying? Of how you want to do that. But thank you for the donation. How can you book a consultation? Rady. Go to my about section of my YouTube channel and click on email. The power is within on SpongeBob Squidward. Yes, Squidward is an octopus. Octopus ink is a vast amount of melanin in it. Yeah, there's some science in all of that. What's the name of the photo you have in your cell phone for the last few videos with the ozone talk? I just Googled meteor, asteroid or something. Hold on, let me see. I have the search actually on one of the photos. Let me scroll back up. I have so much stuff in my phone. It's ridiculous. So on this one, it's deep impact asteroid in sky scene. And then I clicked on images and these pop up. Okay. So just type in this on Google and then hit image. And then a bunch of stuff is going to pop up. You just scroll through until you see these type of drawings. They interpreted it a little bit different, but that's what it's under. Okay. Thank you. Have I ever thought about being a spiritual advisor? That's what I started out as. Hmm. Um, I read tarot cards. I did um, workings and spells for people. I did spiritual advice. I did all that. Now I'm kind of doing it like as a group on YouTube Live, only for prosperity now, because being a spiritual advisor, you know, there comes a point where you know a little bit more than the person you're advising, and they're not going to understand your advice or understand why you're not helping them. So once you reach that point of your spiritual evolution, you cannot be a spiritual advisor anymore. You have to just teach or do other things because you can't do those things anymore. It's not that I look down on them because I just bought some new cars the other day, but I will just use them for self. These are I sent them Worth They Oracle. But I can't read for other people anymore because they're not going to understand me or listen to me. Okay. Because they're not ready. So I can't do it anymore. Uh, I do I do feel like it was a good part of a stepping stone for me because I learned a lot. I learned a lot from reading for other people. And it's a path. Tarot is actually a path of enlightenment. So if I read for myself and I read for other people, that's supposed to enlighten me to the next level. I'm not supposed to stay a tarot reader. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are mowing the lawn. So I can't continue to do something when I'm on the path in a different direction now. Okay. There you go. So click on the thing where it says email. It's hidden. It's hidden. You shall seek. If you seek, you shall find. Click on it. It's like a secret hidden thing. Um, that makes sense. Sun looks like it's vomiting out lava with one eye. Looks great. Those eyes are the phases of the moon. Hmm. The vomit is the UVB radiation. Okay, y'all gotta learn how to decode. Um, hi. Don't right. So I think you need to be on a computer to be able to see the email. Yeah, try the computer. Sure, are you opening your spiritual group? Yeah, you gotta email me. Buy a cave. Yes. Where to start on decoding symbolism? Hmm. Get you a symbolism book or research or Google spiritual symbolic meaning of things or symbols and signs that you see. Um, just any book. They all have symbols in them. Just go Google it. I got both of your books using the Kindle Fire free. Oh, thank you. I'm waiting on my book of symbolism now. Good, Sophie. Thank you, Andrea. Um, have you watched The Matrix or The Truman Show? I've seen The Matrix. Haven't seen The Truman Show. Um, how do you know if you are a spiritual advisor? If you're advising people spiritually, you decide if you're going to be one. It's a choice. Hmm. You should open up a school or class for people who want to learn to look. There's books that people can just buy and teach themselves. That's the one thing that separates the seekers, is the one who teaches themselves. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, you cannot understand something unless you look at it with your own two eyes. Understand it to see it with your own two eyes and sides of your brain. So the videos are pretty much going to be the same thing as a school would be. You know, I'm just going to give you the book and tell you to read it and explain it to you, but you won't understand it if you hadn't read the book. You know what I'm saying? Just like in college, how they do. You got to read this book before you show up to class. You don't, basically, college just teaches you to teach yourself, which is silly to even pay for it. So why would you go pay for somebody to tell you to read a book when you can just read the book? Right? We got to teach ourselves, because whoever is in control of the information, okay, is in control of what you know. And I might not touch on a subject or, teach you something that you may have been led to naturally by seeking the knowledge on your own. So instead of having another group of sheep, you're supposed to teach yourself. That's why the Hermit card in the tarot deck, he's alone. He doesn't have a class following him. He has a lantern, which is the light within, seeking. So that has to be. Mm-hmm. Don't let the cat back. She came in here and then wanted to get right back out. Mm-hmm. Um, Signs and symbols rule the conscious mind. Yes. Yes, witchery exists. Yeah. If you create it, then it exists. If you believe it, it exists. If you, yep. Thank you. How long have I been on here? Prayer works if you believe it does. Um, there's levels. There's levels to spiritual knowledge. Okay. This is why they give you prayer, and then you learn about manifesting, and then you learn about dark matter and dark energy, and then you learn about the universal law, because there's levels to this. Okay. If you stay stuck at one level and it's working for you, wonderful. But then you see other people with faster, bigger results because they have surpassed that level of their spiritual journey, and they know how to do more. So you have to look at it as levels. There is no right or wrong. There are only levels. Now, there are certain things that you can't do, or you will need the assistance of other people to do if you're doing certain types of magic. That's why in all the movies, when you see like a group, you always have that one black person, because that's the melanin that they need. Um, like when you watch an all black movie, you don't ever have that one white person. It's just all black. They're putting the science in the movie. That's why the black person gets killed first, to open up or lead to the exit. To yeah. Somebody said, "Ooh." I just thought about something. Never mind. Morbid thinking. But right. Alchemy is witchcraft? No. Alchemy is alchemy. Mhm. How did you get played or how did you learn? Did you get played or did you learn? Oh, y'all talking to each other. Okay. I always wondered why the blacks go first. Um, Symbolism is real though, I believe that. Yes. Good for you. The sacrificial lamb, exactly. I mean, why do you think they redo it in every movie? Almost every movie. Y'all keep it down. Mhm. Am I cursed? I'm always horny. Serious. No, you just don't have control of your lower self. Or you need to redirect your energy to something more creative. Serious. Hmm. Any of y'all watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch on Netflix? They steal a black baby named Letitia, which is my name. Yes. Mm-hmm. They didn't kidnap me. I was irresistible. You should have used the energy of the eclipse for it, or right? Satan spawn. That's your sister's name? Cool. What got you on to one level won't get you to the next level spiritually. That's true. Did you get your name from the cartoon Shira? No, actually, I didn't. Um, I did like that cartoon, even though everything was backwards and wrong. But it was um, everyone is right. Thanks for the ceremony and intentions. Alchemy is Arabic alchemia. What? Alchemy is not. Alchemy was written in hieroglyphs first, so that's not Arabic. Um, thank you so much. You're welcome. Mhm. Does Hollywood have it out for you? American Horror Story, Apocalypse, and Sabrina. Maybe they do. Can't stop, won't stop. Um, in both of them, I died kind of. One was a fake death though, so they could kidnap me. Oh, not really. I'm just joking with y'all. It's like the characters had my name that they killed or kidnapped. um, what is your favorite Mike and Ike flavor? I don't know. I just eat them. They all taste the same to me. The rainbow. I don't know. I like the green ones. Whatever that one is. It's like lime or something. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Um, I think I answered enough questions. Siempre Bruja on Netflix. Let me write that down because I'm looking for a new show. Oh my God. It's Velvet. Started talking like the cat. Siempre bruja. I'm gonna go watch it right now. Y'all know spell check. I typed the letters in and it says Sizemore Burkle. Okay, it's because it's in a different language. How do we find the gate? You're not supposed to find the gate with sly. It depends. See, everything is relative according to who you are. You see? So, for example, if the gates are closed, certain it's just too much to talk about. Like, if the gates are closed, or there's borders, or there's walls on these gates, you can't get through them. And that's what they're working on right now to close them. That's the wall Trump keeps talking about. And only those who can get through the wall, the invisible wall, are supposed to be outside. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the keys. You have to have the key. If you don't have the key, you're not supposed to be out. Or you could get human trafficked or exploited on the spiritual plane. You know, like before I knew this, I would say, oh, there's nothing to be worried about. You don't need protection. It depends on who you are. Right. And those walls are for your protection to keep you in. But 5G is also not so good. So robots work on 5G, artificial intelligence type robot things work on 5G and internet. So some companies are already introducing internet, which is AT&T and Verizon. We'll see. Um, if you use 5D, you will be enslaving the dead, frequency wise. So, ooh, yeah, it's the same frequency. 5G, 5G. You might not be able to see them, but their frequencies are going to be used as energy to ride that wave. Waves. Waves. Lupe Fiasco's new album called Waves. The frequency, aka the waves, are the same exact frequency and waves that ghosts, aka spirits, live on. If you access 5G, which is the internet frequency that they're introducing, you're going to be using the wavelength and the energies of these dead people. Now they said the dead will rise. Rise up. Rise up also represents takeovers. Just like in the Matrix. The machines took over because they were being used as energy, which is 5G, using the dead. It's complicated, but anyway. You cut down on your data usage. Better change that number on the dial. Now is the time. You should put your blonde wig. Oh, maybe I will. Um, you haven't been watching Haunting Hill House. You didn't even know about 5G, D&D. You haven't seen the commercials. AT&T now with 5G. Verizon, we now have 5G. I hope Sprint don't switch because then I'm gonna have to switch. Oh my goodness. Because then I'll be enslaving the dead. Well, mm, I don't know. Do I want to even enslave the dead? I don't even know. I haven't even thought about enslaving the dead. So, that's something you don't just think about when you wake up. Should I enslave the dead by switching to 5G? So I haven't even thought about, do I really want to do that? I'll tell y'all what I come up with. I'll use my pendulum to decide. Okay. Right is yes, left is no. Should I enslave the dead? It says no. That's left. I should not enslave the dead. Guess I'm gonna have slow internet. Okay. The answers are within. I can't enslave the dead, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me ask again just to make sure. Look, I'm gonna ask one more time. Oh, I'm gonna ask the cards this time. Santa Muerte, the death. The death cards. Santa Muerte. Should I enslave the dead? He said that was lit. All right. This is the card. He's reading. The lizard dragon is reading. 16. That's number 7. All right. Let's see what that means. Where's the book? Here it is. See what it means in here. It means ooh. Here we go. This next page. It means quasi-cotal. That's quasi. I was just talking about quasi-cotal yesterday. Quasi-cotal. We have reached the final card of the world of creations. With what may be the most important Aztec god, Quetzalcoatl, or the feathered serpent, was worshipped as the god of knowledge, dawn, the sunrise, merchants, that money, the arts, and professions. He is associated with the wind and the element of air. That's what frequency flies on. He is therefore connected to the intellect, education, books, and the invention of the calendar. Advice of the dead. Do not fear and do not give up. Through perseverance and insistence, you will reach the goal that you desire and that most of all you deserve. So the god of the air, the feathered serpent. No, that sounds like internet frequency. So is that a yes? Mhm. My mind's telling me no, but Quasi is telling me yes. I don't want to hurt nobody. Okay, I don't know. Let's just do the coin flip. The good old coin flip. I'm doing 3. Okay, heads, I should. Tails, I should not enslave the dead with 5G. All right. This is it. What did I say heads was? Because I forgot. Heads is a yes. Was heads yes? Ooh, I got 2 yeses and 1 no. Okay, let's see what the power of suggestion has done to my mental. See how you can change stuff? Now I'm gonna ask my pendulum again after I got 2 yeses. Should I enslave the dead? Still saying no. So I have to listen to myself. I gotta listen to me. Just still saying the same thing. But everything else, the cards, the coins, they say yes. Money and power says yes, but my heart says no. Have to choose. Um, we'll see. Like we'll see. Like the government shutdown. They don't need 5G. Just they don't need this. A bunch of people gonna die, and they should just get rid of it, and maybe we won't have to worry about it. But on the other hand, see, there's 2 sides to it. You got to figure it out. What's best for you? Money does rule this realm, but as you can see, there's a government shutdown and some coded presidential speeches that take some pondering. Oops. Oops. I'm trying to look at the camera and missing my mouth. So, as a higher being, I don't want to enslave anybody. Okay? Even my kids. I don't make them do silly stuff that I can get up and do myself, except sometimes. But I always give them stuff in return. So I think that's plot twist. They were sent the spirit of confusion to throw you off your reading. hmm King Solomon had servants. Yeah, but I don't need servants. No. Here's my thing. Because Layla, Rico's barking at the lawn man. Because if you can pay for something, or you can do it yourself, you don't need to enslave others to do it for you. even if they're dead. You know, it's kind of the same thing as slavery in America. You know, the only difference between the dead and the living is a frequency. Just like the only difference between, or one of the differences between Caucasian and Black people is the frequency. So it's kind of the same thing. Um, spiritual forces will naturally serve, dig, when you righteous and on point, dig. Yeah, yeah, but still, if that's their decision, but if they're sucked into 5G, which is the equivalent of human trafficking, then it's not a choice anymore. So if I conjure a spirit and ask, that's different than using 5G. You know what I'm saying? If I hire a cleaning service versus calling someone to send me a servant via human trafficking, it's totally different. Very different, right? Mm-hmm. You set your dog off? Yeah, Rico's loud. He's our guard dog. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole human trafficking part of Trump's speech. He's speaking of 5G. So yeah, you can help me, you can teach me, you can do things for me if I ask and you agree, or we can just siphon your energy for internet and such and robots and artificial intelligence, and you got to work for free against your will, which is an indicator of will machines take over out of anger because they're being um, fueled by the dead. You know how they say, well, a machine developed consciousness? Of course, because it's not developing a consciousness. It's waking up to its consciousness because it's being powered by a spirit. So when you're talking to that robot, especially these men out here who are buying those women robots, y'all better watch out. She's gonna smother you in your sleep with that pillow, just like a real one. Y'all know. Somebody said, "Wow, y'all better lock her in the closet like Annabelle." Okay, better lock her up when you're done. Fake love kills. I'm serious. Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all gonna see. It's gonna look like a tabloid from like the Inquirer, but it's gonna say, "Woman robot kills owner." Our robot, exactly. Like, wait a second. You better lock her up. Then it's the literal human trafficking via artificial intelligence. That's why they want to start creating these robots to put human consciousness in. They're not going to transfer your consciousness. I mean, they could if you died, but they're also going to enslave another consciousness and put them in a body because, because 5G is going to suck them up. So it just goes super deep. If I could just have 1 hour to know what everything that's really, really going on, just sit in a room as a fly on the wall of the people that really know all this stuff, our entire life would change. The lady robot's gonna be using them credit cards. Exactly. Just like Stepford Wives. Y'all remember Stepford Wives? 3G and 4G are not using the dead. Mm-mm. You're using like cellular microwaves, stuff like that. Hmm. So okay, here's the thing. If you know that 5G enslaves human spirits or spirits of the dead, if you know this and you know that there's a consciousness there and that they could one day take over the world, would you or would you not use 5G? That's the question. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. It's a paradox. Somebody said I would. I would. That's the same thing as somebody saying, um, would you enslave Africans, knowing one day that they would come to a realization of self and take over the world? But it won't be for a while. Would you still enslave them? So you kind of got to rethink this whole thing because it's a mirror. This is the mirror dimension. What you have to do is give free will and educate. Because before they were lying to people, oh, a black person or an African is not a human. Y'all remember that? Oh, right. So you, but people knew the truth. They were just telling the lie. So eventually, you're gonna come to that conclusion. Eventually, all things will be 5G. That's true, but you have a choice to use that 5G or not. Hmm. You know, how when you say, "Oh well, everything is this and that," that's not an excuse. That's really not an excuse. So here's my thing. Oh, everyone has a servant. Oh, everyone has slaves or whatever. That don't make it right. As a former mortician of the dead, would you want your grandma or dead loved one enslaved against their will or human trafficked in a sense? Just think about it. You'll use your natural 5G. Exactly. You don't need 5G if you got five. You wouldn't need 5G unless you were lazy, right? 4G is fast enough. Exactly. How much faster do we need to Google a cat video? How much faster can you Google a cat video? I mean, I don't need a robot. you know, seriously, gotta read more books. Exactly. I really don't need a robot. I wouldn't trust a robot, first of all. So I don't need one. so, okay, so here's the thing slavery is a huge, and human trafficking, slavery, 5G slavery, spiritual slavery, physical slavery. As above, so without, so below, as within, so without, as there's only the present moment. So the reason that most people keep bringing up slavery is because it's still around, just in different forms. That frequency of slavery is still around. It's never left. Uh, it may have it may have changed forms, but it never left. So when Black people talk about slavery, they're remembering their experience with it. When women talk about certain things, or when they talk about human trafficking, or being sold, and immigrants and things like that, that's their version of slavery. When and so on and so forth. Being Then you go way back to the past and you talk about, oh, we were created to mine for gold. That's the same thing as using 5G. you know and then eventually we woke up and started our own stuff, and we're then told that our creators created us for slavery. So what do you do to stop from being enslaved again? You try to um, overcome or overthrow, which is exactly what the Matrix and Terminator was about. So the best freedom, the best way to freedom is to live under universal law. To live under universal law. Most people don't want to live under universal law. Not religion, but universal law. Yeah, 5G is not necessary. And it all stems from greed. Greed. Not anything necessary, but just greed. Just greed. Um, because it's based on patriarchy, which is why they're trying to bring the divine feminine energy back so that the correct decisions can be made, so that you don't have to repeat and stay on the same frequency. And we have to keep shifting until that knowledge and that message is received. So, yeah, it's fine, like I said, to have prosperity and money, but greed is a totally different thing. Okay. hmm Um, like I said, just doing the science behind it. There's no racism involved. Just doing the science. And that's how we have to look at it, as science, as frequencies, as energies. If I don't agree with something, I'm going to say I disagree. If someone offends me, I'm going to stand up for myself. If someone makes a bad choice or chooses to call a bad name, I'm going to also um, let them know, you know, a certain couple of things on my mind. But that doesn't mean that I don't, that doesn't mean that I have a general perspective of a whole group of people. You know what I mean? When I pick out certain people, I pick them out. I can't even see who y'all are in these comments. But if you say something crazy, you're gonna, you'll get got. But the whole point is I'm looking at it like a scientist and also a mother. So that's how you gotta look at it. And I think I can do that because I was a mortician. You look at the dead, you look at their family members, you look at emotional people surrounding a scientific thing that you've done. Like when I was embalming, it was scientific to me. It was medical to me. It wasn't spiritual, nor was it emotional, because I didn't know the person. And this was a physical body, not a spirit anymore. So to see it from that perspective, To see a baby or a child, um, you know that their spirit goes somewhere, or their soul goes somewhere. So no matter what race of people they are, they still have a consciousness, okay, which is a mind. So the whole point is to understand it from that perspective. Hmm. And if you can avoid enslaving anyone, you should, spiritually or physically. That's it. Hmm. What about aborted baby souls? Depends. Everything is relative. Um, why'd you leave being a mortician? Um, the living people got on my nerves. It wasn't the job itself, it was the people I work with, my boss, the just the industry. I can't work for people. Maybe if I had ran my own funeral home, I'll still be, doing that, but I can't work for people. I'm not supposed to work for people. You said you feel that. Yeah, yeah. Um, anyway, let me scroll back. Don't want anyone to enslave me, so I won't be doing that. Right. And it's not about doing it so you're not enslaved. It's just doing because it's the right thing to do. Okay. If you're doing it for that reason, then don't even do it. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do something, do it because it's the right thing to do, not because you're going to get something from it, like tit for tat. Do it because it's the right thing to do. If I'm speaking spiritually, okay? So, spiritually, it is the right thing to do because, yeah, it's the same way that people think of the United States of America when they think about the Civil War and they think about the South versus the North. Oh, the people in the South, they had plantations and they fought for slavery, and then the people of the North, they fought against slavery and da da da. You know, you view those differences. The people in the North could have easily said, "That's a good idea. Let me get some slaves too and make this extra money." But they didn't. Okay. So there's always going to be two sides to things, and you have to figure out which one you want to be on. And the reason why you got to figure out which one you're going to be on is because that will affect your future, everybody's future. Okay. Hmm. I've seen Odd Thomas, yes. AD. So, oh, James. Oh, the I had already quit before I met James. I already quit being a mortician before I met James. Hmm. He didn't know that though. Anyway, they have created human flesh eating robots. Wow. Didn't know that. Thank goodness, but we are all slaves to a system right now. That's true. But when you were released from the slavery, you still went to work. The government shutdown was a perfect example of that. People still went to work. Some people. Some people. See, that was another example. There you go, right there. The government shutdown. You still have to take your butt to work. That's the same thing. That's just a little sample taste of this 5G. What if what if 5G was like making you work for the government with no pay ever? Would you want to do that? See? Same thing. Very good example. Mhm. Slave labor, exactly. So he's telling you what's going on spiritually, technologically, as well as he gave you a brief physical example. And then he made that speech, which is very encoded. So all those people who are under contract with the government had to show up for work with no pay. Imagine if he never reopened the government. What would people have to do? The same thing that those spirits are going to have to do to get out of the slavery of 5G. I Robot, The Matrix, Terminator, you know. So he's kind of giving you a little bit of warning, showing you a little bit of example, give you a little taste, give you a little decoded speech so y'all can call him silly and stupid. But y'all the ones that can't decode it. Just really look deeper. Okay. The then there's this book called The Last President with a dude named Barron Trump that looked just like his son. Reads exactly how his life is and called The Last President. And there's a video out now. I didn't watch it yet, but I saw it. And there's like websites and stuff that break it down. So just understand all this information is for a reason. And there's a reason why I can decode it and tell it to you so that you know it. I don't know why I can do this. I mean, all the years of studying and stuff, it still seems like it's something that's just natural. But I'm glad I can do it and show you how to do it. Okay? High powered microwaves. That's fine. But if you look on the electromagnetic spectrum, when you die, you become the fourth state of matter, which is plasma, which is an energy. Less melanated people become microwaves and ultraviolet rays. Okay? That is 5G. Melanated people with more melanin, once activated with moisture, which they will be when they go up and through the clouds and stuff, turn into gamma rays, which pierce the veil of the electromagnetic frequency field around the earth, and they can get into the heavens. If you can't leave, if your light being or if your soul cannot leave the planet, you will be sucked straight up into 5G. Okay? So when you die, you will be made into a slave if you don't have a lot of melanin to escape, if the 5G gets into play. So your afterlife is even taken from you. So that's why he's trying to tell y'all to stop 5G. He can't come out and say stop 5G because this is money. People kill over money. You understand? So it's up to the people to get the message. Is also part of the Matrix series, and it includes time travel, which Donald Trump is very associated with, giving you the information before it happens. It is up to you to allow it to happen or not allow it to happen. Because if you give an enslaved consciousness, a powerful machine more powerful than you're setting yourselves up. You see, if you give them power over your knowledge, over your internet, over robots, over cars that drive themselves, over machinery, you're giving them total control over you to an extent until because the point is to get you to totally dependent on them, which is like most people are totally dependent on the government right now. It's the same thing. It's just a mirror. Most people are totally dependent on the government right now, which is the same way people are going to become totally dependent on technology in this 5G. And the whole point is to get you to be dependent upon your own knowledge of self and your own whatever, And he's trying to tell y'all. I mean, his name is even Trump like a trumpet, but he can't tell y'all because of the money involved. You know what I'm saying? So, and eventually, so here's the thing, even if you're not Caucasian or white, it's still going to affect you in the future when the robots then take over. You understand? So, there you go. So, the sun, this hot sun, is your pacifier. Listen, the hot sun is your pacifier to get that vengeance out from how you feel if you have bad feelings. Okay. So a lot of people are making, evil comments in here. I see them against, what I'm talking about. That's what the sun stuff is for, to get that out of your system. And once a lot of depopulation takes place, hopefully that will have given you justice somehow in your heart and vengeance somehow in your heart to where you will probably not want to use 5G. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But remember the Matrix and remember Terminator. Remember what it will lead to. You have to think like universal law, the law of correspondence, the law of cause and effect. You have to think law of cause and effect. You can't lead by emotion. They're giving you the pacifier and giving you that time to wake up. And the sun is activating your DNA and your higher frequency of what they say your higher frequency is so that you can get over and through and see vengeance of your lifetime or whatever you want to call it. Then move forward because that's what it is, right? Right. So, you got a choice. Law of correspondence, you have all the information, you've seen what could happen. Now it's up to you. The mirror is the mirror. It's the mirror. Remember that Kanye West clip that I played on my phone where he was sampling Michael Jackson and he said it's the same old dizzy hang up and he repeated it and repeated it and repeated it and repeated it. He said it's a very strange vibration. It's a very strange vibration. He's talking about the 5G and he's also talking about how as people and humans or whatever and as souls and spirits, we keep making the same mistake over and over and over because we can't get out of that emotional lower state and get into a higher state of consciousness. The sun is there The depopulation is there. That's when you need to purge yourself of all that anger. That's what that's for. The burning, okay? The purification. And then you'll know what to do. This time we got it right. This time we got it right. Mhm. I feel it. We got it right. Because I'm here. That's why I feel it. Right? Um, is that yeah. This time though it goes back to the women because we are the only ones that can see it in this perspective and really understand it. Hmm. Men are still going to have positions of power, but the women are going to be the ones that come with the solutions. Okay, y'all will be the representatives. Okay, the men will represent. The women will give solution. That's what we have to call it. We'll have to say the women will give solution. Solution in alchemy represents a balance and a good blend of some two things and stuff like that. But we will give y'all solution. Um, and that's why we have to do that. The man will be the head and we will be the neck. No. The women will be the secret government, the man will be the government. Just like in the household. The man will be the president and the woman will be the secret government. That's how it's gonna be. We that's how it's gonna be. That's just how it is. We don't like for me, I don't need all that recognition. I don't need it. If you could secretly advise solutions to the world and your main purpose was to fix what's going on rather than fame and ego, then you'll be able to fix the world. Give it to someone else, give the solution to someone else, let them fix it, just like Tesla did. Okay. Just like the mirror in Harry Potter. The only way he could see in that mirror is if he wasn't seeking something for himself. You see? So that's why women always have to be sought after for solutions because um we don't need the recognition if we're in our true feminine power. We don't need that's like Katherine Jackson walking on stage while Michael Jackson is performing and saying, I made this child. You need to be praising me. Okay. So we just sit back and enjoy the benefits of it. Okay. We will just sit back and enjoy the benefits of our solutions that you have executed. Hmm. Right. And it's not that we are superior, it's that we have the solutions because we see things from a different perspective. You know, if you were only on the ground, you couldn't see from a bird's eye view that a hurricane was coming and prepare. But if we were looking at it from a different perspective as a female, as a woman, and we could tell you, look, it's a hurricane coming, so you should do this and that. Just a different perspective. We're different and we see things differently. That's it. Um, you're welcome. So y'all just understand that no matter, just understand it's not about an eye for an eye. What they said, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. It's about creating the solution. Okay. Right. People are gonna die anyway, but not everyone has to be enslaved by robots. Okay. Or when they die, become an enslaved spirit that has to seek vengeance through a robot's body. Um, I'm just saying, it's just sci-fi is sometimes the truth. Hmm. Right, like 5G is a weapon. It is. People can shoot them towers down if they want to. Okay. Just like they can spray across the sun, they can accidentally hit one thing. Mhm. Okay. It's like people have the tools, the knowledge, but they don't have the guts. You know. Mhm. So to me, in that Trump speech, he was that chick in the bathroom on traffic. He was trying to drop code, so y'all know what to do. Okay. I have a strange way of breaking down things, but I have to see things for a reason so that I can translate. You know what I mean? Back to the Future when the almanac was stolen and the future was changed. And they had to change it back because of greed. Right. Like if a woman would have gotten that almanac, things would have been very different. Y'all haven't seen Back to the Future. Was that two or three? Three? If a woman would have gotten that almanac, the world would have been a better place. Okay. Just think about that for a second. I mean, we would have probably done some selfish things for ourselves, but in general, the world would have been a better place. Message. Do you know what is a Bitcoin? If you don't know, go to sleep. What? Dude, Bitcoin is going down. Ain't nobody buying Bitcoin no more. Buy some gold. Um, Trump does look just like the character. He lived in that big hotel too, remember? What was his name? Biff? Mm-hmm. Sure, what's the safest place to live? Nowhere when 5G goes global. Right. Um, don't put it in the sun. Do not put the elixir in the sun. Um, Biff got rich like he was Trump. Yep. He had the time travel machine. Went and got his little cash. Came back. And Mars, Marty McFly had to save the day. Martine. Mhm. Message. Martian. Okay, I think I'm done. So, whoever watches this, if this is your first time ever watching one of my videos, you just got a lot of information in one video, and do it with what you want. Thank you so much, Shelly. Ooh, thank you for the large donation. Thank you for your time and sharing your knowledge. Thank you, Shelly. I appreciate it. Really do. Um, Safe place might be high elevation. True. Maybe that's why we're shifting to a higher frequency. I don't know. We'll see though. After the Super Bowl, we'll see. I think that's what's going to determine the future, even though that's silly. It's true. Hmm. The Rams versus the Patriots, the dead Patriots and the living Patriots. Okay. This is enough for all sad others to agree. Yeah. So, yeah, the ending message of this is think, use universal law of cause and effect before you decide to use 5G. Also, when Trump speaks, break down his speeches like we just did earlier. And remember, you too will have to die one day and also live again. In maybe. So, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.